Hey y'all, so I'm back. It's been 2 weeks. I have not been on. I am, as the title says, very depressed right now. Making this video is very difficult. So, yeah, this is a therapist when they're depressed. Very low energy, um, losing track of thought, losing track of time, trying to stay busy, trying to rest at the same time as much as possible. I guess I came back from vacation and I just hit the ground running. It is also midwinter apparently, and yeah, I am just feeling all of the symptoms. Also tried to do something that was very triggering for me. And it turned out to be re-triggering for me. So I was fine all the way up until maybe New Year's. Tried to dip my toe into the water of, you know, bravery. Do something. I was a little brave. Try something out. And it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. And it's, whatever. But it was re-triggering. I'm not going to go into the details. You don't need to know everything. Try to have some, you know, I am a regular human being, but I need to have some kind of boundaries. As we say in the therapy field, you need to have boundaries and not expose yourself too much as a human being, or else clients won't feel as comfortable. But I find that, exposing myself a little bit is helpful for me and also helpful for clients. I found that most clients that I've had anyways actually enjoy the fact that their therapist goes through things that are similar to them. And when I am in a good phase where I don't have this cloud of depression hanging over my head, I'm able to use some of the things that helped me through my own period of depression to kind of help my clients. So it's kind of a positive while also being a negative, because right now I feel like shit. And I've been doing things to kind of help just ride it out, because I'm finding that you just can't make this feeling go away. you know? So you have to just kind of ride the waves. Go to therapy. Your therapist has a therapist. Most therapists, I've realized in grad school, actually, no, let's just stick to grad school, because that's where the specific of going into the mental health field really starts. I mean, you can take psychology in undergrad as a major, but some people don't really use it. They don't use it. So in grad school, I realized there were a lot of people there that were going into the field of clinical work, therapy work, psychological work. I'm trying to think of the words. And most of them were doing it because they've been through something and they wanted to help other people get through it. So most of your therapists have similar issues to you. Most of your therapists have issues. Some of your therapists even have issues that they haven't worked through or gotten through or aren't trying to grow. And I don't mean like gotten through as in they made the issue stop. I'm not going to make this depression here stop. The depression storms will come and go, come and go, come and go as the years wax and wane. It's more so about, how do I deal with it? How do I get through those storms? Right now, it's about staying mindful, staying present when a lot of negative thoughts are coming in, shaming myself, making myself feel bad. Refocusing on what I'm doing presently. Something that helps me do that is to zone out on watching cartoons. Watching something funny. I did make the mistake of watching something sad today, which just got me in my feelings once again deeper. I watched the Aaron Hernandez documentary on Netflix, and it just made me sad. It was just a lot of things that could have been prevented with proper parenting, or could have had a higher chance of being prevented. Let me say that, because nothing's 100%. Nothing's 100%, even with the proper therapy and the proper help and all the other stuff. But could have had a higher chance of being prevented with, parenting and therapy. Like I always say, like when I have kids, if I see signs that there are some mental health things going on and they don't want to talk to me or anything like that, then I'm putting them in therapy. I have no qualms with putting my kids in therapy to talk to somebody about whatever's going on in their heads, at whatever time, they start to display signs that they might need somebody to talk to outside of their parents. I do not have an ego like that. If you can't talk to me as your parent, then you're going to talk to somebody, because you're not going to sit around here with all these thoughts in your head, because I, for one, sure do know how it gets when you allow your thoughts to spiral. So what else? Mindfulness. When I need to rest, I make time during the day to rest. If I need, while I'm traveling, because I drive around the different schools to see clients. So while I'm driving around different schools to see clients, if I know I'm going to have an hour or two in my car between clients because it's recess or lunch and I'm not going to see them during recess or lunch, I will either take a nap or I will put on Netflix. And watch something, or YouTube, or just some music or something to kind of keep me in the here and now. So that helps. So making time to rest even during the day, because my thing is sleep. Some people's thing that they overdo might be, eating, not eating, staying up, not sleeping, oversleeping. My thing is sleep. I can say that I do oversleep, so I try to make times to rest while also making sure that I'm not over resting. So if I'm noticing that I'm going like 2 days in a row, like say it's the weekend, and I get home Friday and I'm knocked out, and then I'm knocked out all day Saturday, if I'm noticing that I'm doing that too many weekends in a row, then, I start to input little baby step things that I can do during the day. Like, okay, maybe I'll sleep in the morning and then I'll go out and do something in the afternoon, get out and get some sunshine, get the serotonin flowing and things like that. If you're seeing a therapist, see your therapist. A lot of times therapists can't make the physical symptoms of depression go away, the headaches, the stomach aches, the emotional exhaustion, the physical exhaustion, the brain fogs, but they can help you just kind of vent about it to help you ride it out, give you some good coping skills to help, because the depression's like, life is an ocean. I like my metaphors. Life is an ocean, right? And a lot of times the ocean's calm and you are in the boat. And, you're on a calm ocean. It's sunny. It's bright. Everything is wonderful. The food swims up to you. You get the food and then you eat it. You drink clean water, whatever. Everything's calm. But when depression comes, that's when the waves start. I don't know where the clean water's coming from if you're in the ocean, but we're just going to go with this. So then the depression comes. Either it can be triggered by something. It can come randomly. It can just be triggered by the fact that it's winter. I hate winter. I hate this freaking season. I wish. And I keep thinking that it's like, I'm going off on tangents. This is just like a random talking thing. So I keep thinking that maybe it really is because the day is shorter and the sun is going away fast. I think it's the cloudiness. It's even when the sun is out, it just feels just ugh. But life's an ocean. Depression comes in, creates this storm. The boat is how you get across the storm. You're not gonna stop the storm. I'm sitting here rambling because I was gonna do a video on, what is it? Privilege and trauma, and how privilege can affect trauma or whatever I was gonna do that I didn't write notes for or do any research. I was like, maybe if I just talk out of my ass, it'll sound like something. But no, I decided, let me come on here and rant about how I've been depressed and anxious and irritable for the past 2 weeks because of re-traumatizing myself and making mistakes that I'm not even going to go into. And the weather, the winter, it's midwinter. And this is my physical chemistry. That's, my mom had depression. I think a lot of people in my family have mental, just from the way they act acted, and so on. I think a lot of them have mental health issues, so it's hereditary. Grandmother had anxiety. She couldn't stay in the house by herself. Like, she'd get mad if you left her in the house by herself. Panic attacks and that's anxiety. You know, you can just, when you go through the training, you can just see symptoms everywhere, and you can put pieces together. So, you know, my chemistry, my makeup, and it's just like, it's a lot. So mindfulness, putting in constructive resting periods rather than denying myself of rest altogether because I feel bad, or overly resting because I feel bad and I'm just like, fuck it then, you know, I'm just trash. You know, trying to, you know, be constructive about my negative thinking, using reality testing to remind myself, okay, this negative thought, because mindfulness helps, but sometimes you need to remind yourself of what's going on in reality, what's actually happening right now. And why do you feel like the opposite is happening? So, like, you see somebody staring at you and you're just like, I knew I shouldn't have worn this shirt today. It's ugly. I'm ugly. Everything's ugly. The world is ugly. And then, you know, when you really think about it, so, do you know this person staring at you? Can you read their mind? Why do you think that they're thinking that? You know, just testing your reality. Like, what is the reality of the situation, and what is your mind trying to make up for you? Because 9 times out of 10, your mind's lying. Unless in reality, someone's standing there in front of you calling your shirt ugly and pointing and laughing, and that's different. That means what's in your head is the truth. But for the most part, we make things up in our mind, and reality testing helps to kind of pull you out of it. And all of these things, like I said, these are just like things to just continuously practice. They don't always work. And then sometimes you get mad at yourself because it's not working. And then you just gotta sit back and relax. Like, what can I do next to just ride this wave? Because this hurts. I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. I'm upset. Like, I literally want to cry right now for no reason whatsoever at all. Reaching out to a friend. Reach out and talk to somebody. Reach out and touch somebody. You know, like, not necessarily, you don't have to touch people. I have this thing about being touched. Don't touch me. But, you know, talk to somebody. Talk to a friend. I mean, you know, not just your therapist, but like a friend. And, you know, with friends, it doesn't have to necessarily mean like, oh, well, I'm going to always vent to this friend about my problems whenever I get upset. It could just be, I want to hang out with you and be distracted. So let's do something together so I can be distracted and we can distract each other. Let's go eat. I don't know. Let's go watch movies. Let's go do something. So reach out and touch somebody. Not touch. I don't know. Maybe if you're a huggy person, reach out and talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. What else? I like having a pet. Pets are not even. What is this? Stop it. She keeps digging and what? Ew. I don't know what this is. She was eating it in the couch. But for the most part, having a pet is nice. You know, that was a distraction. See, she distracted me from damn near crying almost for no reason. She comes and cuddles with me. It helps with the loneliness is a symptom of depression. Lonely thoughts come up. And she comes and cuddles with me. And that's amazing and wonderful and magical. It's a magical thing. I don't know. Whatever is your quiet zone, your happy place. If it's reading a book, my happy place is watching animes and watching cartoons, and yeah, I like reading books. Trying not to overstress your day. So clumping your day into chunks instead of, oh, I have this, and this to do today. Well, right now, I just need to focus on seeing this one client for this 1 hour. Okay, this hour is done. This is all I'm going to focus on right now. the next hour, this is what I need to do right now. So if you can clump, for me it's easier because I can just clump my clients into hours during the day. And, you know, once I know this hour is done, then I'm counting down. I'm like, I only have 3 clients left. You know, and I know you're probably wondering, like, how do you get through a session when you're feeling this depressed? For some reason, I don't have the intense depression where you're bedridden and you can't get up. That is a rare occurrence for me because I also have anxiety. And my anxiety tells me if I lay in bed too long on a work day that I'm going to be homeless. And that has always been a fear of mine, of being homeless. I have this thing with germs, but my apartment's a mess. You're never going to see it because it's just, I call it my depression mess. So I don't mind my own mess. But it's not a mess like, you know, like that one, what was it, that one vlogger in China who had like dog poop no, I don't like bodily fluids and shit. It's just clutter. There's just a lot of clutter that I need to clean up. But, you know, what was I saying? My apartment's a mess, and I was saying something else. See, this is what happens when you run off on tangents. But yeah, I don't know what I was saying. I forgot. I literally forgot. Depression sucks. It's trash. It just completely stops your freaking life, especially when it's based off of your traumas, because then it's like it's a specific thing that you feel like is just going to keep happening every time you try to, you know, break past that barrier and try to, you know, I'm going to be brave today and I'm going to face my fear and I'm going to face the thing that's triggering me so much, and you do it and it turns out once again to be trash, and it's kind of your fault because you know what you did it the wrong way. I'm not going to self-blame, or we're not going to blame, we're going to take responsibility for our actions. There you go. So we're going to take responsibility for our actions and say that you reached for something in the same way that you've done in the past. So I recognize that I reached for something in the similar way that I did in the past, and the same thing happened again that happened in the past, and it re-traumatized me. So it triggered my depression. There you go. So it's kind of like if you're trying to make friends and you were bullied in the past and you make friends with somebody who's obviously an asshole, but you're trying to make friends with them anyways, you know, like they just have small asshole traits. They're not as bad as the assholes from my childhood, you know, and then, you know, the asshole traits start to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it's like you're re-traumatized before you even know it. So it's kind of like that. It's like, stop re-triggering yourself and you won't have these many depressive moments. That's what I try to tell myself. That's what you all should tell yourself. Don't re-trigger yourself. I'm not editing this or anything. I'm just gonna pop it into the, I don't have the energy. I don't have the wherewithal for any, I didn't even want to film this. God moved through me and he said, film it. Film your tragedy. And I was just like, okay, God, if that is what you want me to do, I will film my tragedy. And hopefully it doesn't look too unprofessional because, you know, people are on here looking at me and, you know, whatever. But depression's trash. Oh, yeah, I think I was talking about going into session while you're depressed. I don't know. I don't have the depression that leaves me bedridden. It's like mild to moderate, but it's not like intense, you know, major depressive disorder. It's just kind of mild. You know, it stays kind of in that dysthymia area when it does hit, but it's still moderate enough to like, you feel it. You feel it, and when I lay down and sleep, you feel it. And I've come to moments where I didn't want to get up and I just wanted to lay there and sleep, you know. But I don't know. So it makes it easier to go into sessions. I do meditation sometimes before I go into sessions. I'll turn on a YouTube video and do a quick meditation. I'll do mantras before I go into sessions. And sometimes you can just put the mask on and turn it on. I mean, if anybody out there has depression and can understand me when I say that sometimes, especially when you are a professional in your field and you've done it so many times that you kind of just know what to do. Some sessions, I will just kind of bullshit the session because I know that, the client is having a good day. It's not that intense of a session that's needed. Their problems are wrapping up a little bit. So let's play Uno the whole session and talk about Naruto. I work with kids, so let's play Uno the whole session and talk about Naruto because we both like Naruto. And what did you think when, what's his name? Jiraiya died? That was horrible. That hurt my feelings. I cried on that episode. I was just like, what? He's gonna get up, right? He's gonna get back up. If you don't watch Naruto, just ignore me. And if I spoiled it for you, well, you know what? Don't watch. I don't know. Unhear that part. But sometimes I do that, but that doesn't happen often because it's just so easy to turn it on. I have a lot of empathy too. So it's like once I get in the room with a client, I feel like they're having a bad day or there's something going on, I just automatically just want to help them. I just want to be like, how can we fix this so you're not sad too? So it's kind of like, I guess being able to just turn it on, because a lot of people with depression, either major depression or dysthymia type depression, they can just turn it on. But I also will say doing meditation before going into work, doing meditation during work, watching a Netflix video between sessions, watching an episode of my favorite show between sessions. If I have a break has helped a lot. I'm kind of excited because the Tales of Sabrina, whatever, the Teenage Witch is coming back on Netflix. So I will be I will be either binge watching that over the weekend. I'll be just watching it randomly throughout the week. That kind of helps because it takes your mind off of all the sad things, especially if you had a particularly sad session, because we as therapists get countertransference. So countertransference means that you take on the emotions and the feelings of your client and then you almost project them back to your client. It's kind of like your client comes in sad and depressed and now all of a sudden you're irritable. And you're mad and you're anxious because they're sad and depressed and the energy in the room is just like blah. And then you're not able to keep up the good mood and you're just projecting it back on your client. Or your client comes in and let's say they're homophobic and you're supposed to stay unbiased, but because you have feelings about being homophobic and how that's messed up, you inject that into the session instead of staying on track and trying to figure out where did this homophobia come from? Why do you feel that way? What can we do to help you process this? So you can get countertransference, and I try to work through that by doing these activities between session, like watching something funny, doing a meditation, doing a mantra. Sometimes I'll just even pray. I'll just pray to God. If you're religious, that's something that you can do, whatever God you worship. If you're not religious, just even it's a meditation. I keep saying meditation. I love meditation. That's just the most calming thing ever. It's really helped me with just practicing mindfulness, staying present. And I think I kind of am happy that I made this video. It feels good to kind of vent about all of this. Sometimes you just make a YouTube video or make a video vlog on your phone and just keep the videos in your cloud or something so that you can go back and look at your little video diary of how your mood has progressed over time. And it's kind of freeing, I don't really feel anxious about posting this because I just feel like, we all go through it. This is just the same things as my clients talk about. We're all human beings that basically experience the same emotions and feelings and all sorts of things. We just process them differently. So your depression could look like binge eating and, self-harm and things like that, while my depression looks like sitting up and watching Netflix all night and stuff and then sleeping all the next day. So So it just kind of depends on the person. I have gone to the place where I have had suicidal thoughts, but it was a long time ago. Not a long time. Yeah, I would say still a long time ago. It was a few years ago. And that was only due to, being in extreme trauma, like in the trauma in the moment, and going to that place because you feel like the trauma's not going to stop. Right now, I don't really have those thoughts. It's more so that when I get really tired, I just wish I could take a nap. Like, I want to take a nap right now. This is all difficult. But it's interesting because for me, if I stay busy, then I don't feel it until after, after I get busy. And if you do have suicidal thoughts, I please implore you, and I'll put at the end of the video some crisis hotlines. There's even a crisis text line. You can text an anonymous volunteer and just talk back and forth about what's been going on and why you feel the way you feel, because some people don't like to talk on the phone. That's understandable. People have anxiety. Don't shame people because they don't want to talk on the phone because they have anxiety, because I feel that way sometimes. I just don't want to talk on the phone unless I'm really interested in you. Like, I'm really interested in your conversation. You keep me entertained. If you're not keeping me entertained, I don't feel like talking verbally on the phone with you back and forth. Look at Poof. She's so... Do you like her new collar? It's like a purple... Pink. Come, Poofs. Show your collar to the people. See? Look, wait. See, it's purple and it's pink or something. I interrupted her. Go. I don't know. I'm random. But yeah, so I'm not editing this. It just is what it is. I'm depressed. Hopefully I feel better by Sunday, so I can make another video for next week. I'm trying to keep up the momentum. But yeah, it is what it is. Do your coping skills, ride the waves, and talk to your family, your friends, your therapist, whoever you can talk to, a stranger on the street who seems like they want to listen to you. Talk to a camera if you have to. Get it out, get it off your chest, because you will fall apart if you're sitting around by yourself not expressing how you feel. You will fall to pieces. Some people can do that. Some people can sit, but it's like there comes a certain point where you're sitting by yourself and you're isolating yourself too much. And recognizing when you're coming to that certain point, when the thoughts in your head are getting too overwhelming, you can't redirect them or keep them quiet or do anything else to avoid them. It's just overwhelming. When you cried your last tear and you're too exhausted, but you still want to cry some more, and it's been like a week and you've been crying every day. It's one thing if you're crying here and there once or twice a week, you getting it off your chest. You're crying every day. You're almost in tears at work. All this stuff is happening. Then you need to go and you need to take your time and say, what else can I do to help me get through this? Do I need to reach out to somebody? If you're taking medication or anything like that for your depression or anxiety or any other mental health issues, talk to your doctor. Stay on your medication, please, as your doctor recommends. Don't just be like, well, I'm depressed again, and so that means such and blah, 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 blah. Nothing is a cure for this. As far as what I've talked to psychiatrists about, this isn't curable like that. Some people it goes away. Some people, this mental health stuff just disappears if they stay on their medication and do their coping skills and do all the things that they need to do. Just get out the light. But a lot of times it doesn't. It's just easier to manage, basically. So talk to your doctors if you feel some type of way about your medication, if you feel like you don't want to take it, if you feel like you just want to end cold turkey. Please talk to your doctors and don't make decisions on your own about your medication. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to upload this to my computer and then I'm going to go to sleep. And yeah, Tino said it. Later days, y'all.